hearing chatter you're brokering a treaty between the Krogan and the Turians.
If I get Krogan boots on Palaven, the Turians promise me their support.
And how does Cerberus get involved?
I don't know. The elusive man is up to something.
Then keep them at bay. I can't overstate what a victory this treaty would be for the Alliance. We'll need all the help we can get.
How's the Prothean device coming?
Alliance R&D has officially begun construction.
Great.
The team has dubbed it Project Crucible.
Okay.
We're throwing everybody who knows how to hold a hammer at it. This is going to be the most ambitious undertaking in human history.
Will we get it done?
I'm not saying it won't be a challenge, but our researchers tell me the designs are elegant, massive in scope, but strangely simple as well. We can do this, Shepard. You can do this. Never doubt that.
No, sir.
Good. Hack it out.
And that is the Crucible. Remarkable progress. That was quick. Obviously it's not done yet, but still.
You have the female, Rex. A cure for the rest of your people can come later.
That wasn't the deal.
But Palaven needs your reinforcements now. We can't delay.
Unless every Krogan gets the cure, there's no alliance.
Morton, how long will it take to finish a cure?
Need to synthesize base antigen from female. Also requires healthy male Krogan tissue. We'll need a sample.
You're looking at it.
Acceptable. We'll need you to remain aboard Normandy for procedure.
Let's hope the food's gotten better.
Alright. I mean, it's been a while since you were last here actually on board with us. Rex, of course, was a teammate of ours back in Mass Effect 1. We saw him back in Mass Effect 2, but he was not actually with us on the ship, I don't think at any point in time, just purely on Tuchanka. So, I mean, Morton, how tough is it going to be to make this cure? It seems like we have the ingredients, but that's just the starting point.
Formulating a cure that works for every Krogan sounds like a tall order, Morton. Can you do it?
Of course. Similar to Genophage modification project. Working against own alterations this time. Not as simple as garbage DNA blocking attachment sites. We'll need to counteract shutdown of redundant nervous system, adjust neurotransmitter levels.
Got it.
We'll create cure, Shepard. Don't need to worry.
Impressive. Impressive. We have the right guy for the job. So do what you can, Morton.
Then get started, Morton. And make it quick.
Always do. We'll be in medbay if you'd like to speak more. Eve requires tests.
Eve?
Female's real name unknown. Normandy, a human vessel. Human mythology seemed appropriate under circumstances. Suggest speaking with her. New perspective. Surprising in Krogan.
Now, is there anything else?
There's a small matter concerning a ship we've lost contact with.
Oh?
What happened?
I'd rather discuss it in private.
Turian problems can't even come close to what I've got.
What is it?
Some of my men went missing. The rest of it we can discuss somewhere else.
I'll find you both in the war room. Just be ready to talk.
Alright, and of course, as everyone knows, there's no fighting in the war room, so certainly we could have those discussions here, but we're seeing all the updates from finishing that mission on Surkesh, and the answer is we got a whole bunch of journal updates, war assets, and, well, they're still coming in here. Crucible, we just learned about. Funding as well, that's a pretty decent chunk of that, no less. Let's see where we stand in that regard. 117,000, I think, is still just shy of the threshold we're looking for. Because there are some things that cost 100,000 that are powerful. There are some things that might cost 125,000 that are powerful. Obviously, we're just short of that. And there are other things that cost either 150,000 or 175,000. We have a little ways to go before we can get those. I think we did level up. We now have 4 points left, which means we could go into fitness. Although, at this point, the immediate upgrade is just melee damage, which is not all that exciting for us. It's not really what we're looking for. We're more interested in the health and shield bonus and shield recharge, delay, decreasing, and what have you. So maybe we'll hold off on that for the time being. But let's take a quick peek at our war terminal here, because we now have Solarian resources for the first time. The Solarians bring cutting-edge warships and their best tactical minds to the fight against the Reapers. And it is specifically and exclusively Captain, or now Major, Kirhi. Major Kirhi made his mark leading the Solarian Special Task Group that helped Commander Shepard stop Saren at Vermeer. Lauded by his superiors for his decisive leadership under fire, Kirhi was promoted and decorated with the prestigious Star of Surkesh. The Major continues to join missions with his men, believing that nothing substitutes for experience, and that the best tactical strategies are planned on the battlefield. Which is actually a somewhat unique perspective from a Solarian perspective. They are usually the calculate everything behind the scenes and plan everything in advance so that by the time you're making your move, you've already pretty much confirmed that what you're going to do will succeed, whereas it sounds like Kirhi is more of a we'll figure it out on the fly when we're on the battlefield type of approach. Then that may be it in terms of updates right now, and that is just a little alarming that Kirhi is the only Solarian sport we have at the moment, but I suppose Turians, we don't have much coming from them yet either. Let's see if Primarch Victus has anything new to say.
Commander.
You said one of your ships had gone missing?
Crashed, actually. I couldn't speak in front of the Krogan. Our ship went down on Tuchanka. Now they're pinned by an advanced guard of Reapers scouting the planet.
What are your men doing there?
I'm sorry. That's classified. But it's vital they be rescued. They must complete their original mission. It's a matter of galactic peace.
Oh.
I'll do what I can.
I appreciate your help and understanding.
Okay. Sure. Can you tell us anything about that Turian ship on Tuchanka? Which again is the Krogan homeworld, so it's a little bit alarming that, you have what appears to be secret operation going on Tuchanka. What's up, Kale BCS? Yeah. We are we're doing Legendary Edition, so it's all remastered. But we're rocking the default Shepard look here, though. I feel like I sort of have I feel the most personally attached to the just default looking Shepard, because there's what Shepard looked like when I played Mass Effect in the original trilogy.
Your men that crashed on Tuchanka. How many are there?
A platoon.
You said their mission was a matter of galactic peace. Why?
I'm sorry, Commander. As I said, it's highly classified.
Look, if you want me to put my ass on the line, I need answers.
I can't tell you. Please understand.
Shake my head.
Commander is Lieutenant Tarquin Victus. He'll be your contact.
Victus?
My son. I needed someone I could trust completely.
Oh. Okay. That does tell us a little bit more. We spoken to you at all about what your plans are after we may deploy the Genophage cure?
The Solarian Dalatras was worried about what the Krogan will do once they're cured. How do you feel?
It won't matter if we don't stop the Reapers, but I understand her doubts. The moon you found me on? That's where we made our last stand against the Krogan during the rebellions. They were that relentless.
Yeah, on the moon next to that is orbiting their home planet. So, yeah, the Krogan practically took the Turian homeworld. That is saying something. Last stand? Yeah, that's pretty dire circumstances.
How did it turn out?
The Krogan started using asteroids as weapons, directing them against our colonies. We had no choice. The genophage was our last resort. So yes, Krogan intentions after this war will be a serious concern, but I'd rather have a grateful ally than a resentful enemy.
That's a good way to put it. That is true. What about... I don't know, that might be a little passive-aggressive there. Krogan make unusual allies. We'll try.
Reaching out to the Krogan for help must be difficult for you.
We can't allow the mistakes of our past to cloud the future. Your race and mine were once enemies. The first contact war, as you call it. I was there, dodging shells fired by your navy. But look at us now, standing in a ship of Turian human design, working together.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
That's all.
Of course, Commander.
Okay. So, we now learn about Tuchanka Turian Platoon is a new quest for us. So, in fact, Priority Tuchanka is the main quest. Eve is indeed the key to curing the genophage, but creating a cure will take time. Continue to assist Turian and Krogan allies in the fight against the Reapers while the cure is synthesized. So, although this will at some point become the next main quest for us, we have to do a few other things before we can actually do that. Turian Platoon is the one that we just learned about. Primarch Victus reports that a Turian ship on a secret mission crashed on Tuchanka. Land on Tuchanka to rescue the platoon. And he would not tell us anything about that platoon. Top secret, he says. Then Attican traversed Krogan team. We technically haven't spoken to Rex about this yet. Why don't we do that first?
Hell of a show down there on Surkesh. Just like the old days, Shepard. Right down to me pulling your ass out of the fire.
I don't know about
That
that.
was the one with bullets flying at me.
Yeah.
And I gave you the moral support to dodge them.
Uh-huh. You said one of
Cheerleader.
your squads is missing?
Cheerleader Rex.
They were scouting out the Rachni relay. We've heard rumors of trouble in the area.
Rachni?
Thought that might get your attention. I have a favor to ask. It's big.
Don't tell me they're back.
All I know for sure is our scouts went silent as soon as they arrived. I've got Aralac Company, my best unit, on standby. You give the word, and they'll meet you there.
I'll see what I can do.
Get on it, Shepard.
Okay. So both the Turian leader and here Rex, the Krogan leader, are saying that they have forces that are pinned in other locations. In the case of the Turians, they crash landed somewhere. In the case of the Krogan, they are investigating a distant planet, and they are in a dire situation, both of those groups, and they could use a helping hand. So let's see what we can learn about all that stuff from Rex. Maybe we start with that mission and the Rachni.
How could there be trouble with the Rachni? They were all but extinct. The last queen promised to disappear forever or be destroyed.
I know, I was there. I've got a bad feeling about this. It may not be Rachni, but maybe it is. Could be another invasion. If they're crawling out from under some rock, you know how bad it could get. We need to stop them.
He's not wrong either. Let's see, so then shifting gears a little bit more to what our thoughts are on the potential cure and how the female Krogan, Eve, as it seems we will start to call her, how that all plays into our plan. What are our thoughts there?
Back on Surkesh, it looked like the female Krogan could hold her own.
Our females don't lack for spirit. For males, a good show of force sorts things out. But females like to talk about it. Then think about it. Then talk about it some more.
Women have good ideas, Rex. You should listen.
Yeah, but they have so many of them. So sometimes I pretend to
Then I have to
listen.
think.
Well, let's just say Krogan females have tempers too.
Oh, Rex. Oh, dear. He's like, I just want to do things. I don't want to have to think about them. Alright, then what is the state of Tuchanka right now?
What's the situation back on Tuchanka?
I'm still getting scattered reports of Reaper forces arriving. Something big is brewing. I won't let those things take Tuchanka. Not when we're about to cure the genophage. My people have had enough bad luck in our time.
Okay, so it sounds like they maybe they're in small numbers at this stage, but Rex has reason to believe that they are about to send a larger group. And then, I mean, talking about the cure, what in the ideal situation in which the Reapers are fended off and a genophage cure is both created and deployed, what are your plans?
What will you do after the genophage is cured?
Once we deal with the Reapers, most Krogan will want to settle a score with the Turians and Solarians. I won't let them. That isn't our path forward. This time will be different.
I'd want revenge. No, I mean, that's certainly a good sign, seeing as how everyone that we've talked to thus far has said, you know, as much as we would like for the Krogan to go back to their former power to help us against the Reapers, as soon as the Reapers are gone, that suddenly makes them public enemy number one, and they might try to wipe out the rest of the galaxy and just take everything over.
A lot of people will be relieved to hear that. No one wants to repeat history.
They know we probably win this time, but war has never brought us anything except misery. It's time to focus on rebuilding.
Okay, you know, maybe we don't argue about who would win in that theoretical situation for fear of it potentially escalating to the point where it becomes a reality, but let's just drop that topic.
That's it for now, Rex. Let's get back to work.
Anytime. And Shepard, I like what you've done with the Normandy. Got tired of always hanging around the cargo bay before.
True.
I still don't have a window like Liara does, but it's progress. Wish I could knock some heads around with you, but duty calls. If the Solarian says my DNA's important, who am I to argue?
Alright then. So, good to have Rex back on the ship for the first time in, over a single game? Because we had him, obviously, in pretty much the entirety of Mass Effect 1. Not at all in Mass Effect 2, and now, near the beginning of Mass Effect 3, we get him back, at least for the moment, so that's good to hear. We checked our war assets, right? Yeah, I think so. So now, let us head back through to the CIC, if we can get past Rex. And why don't we check in on our teammates a bit?
Have a base on their homeworld secured better.
Nah, they were solid. Cerberus has Reaper tech. Compared to those upgrades, the Solarians might as well have been throwing rocks.
Hopefully Cerberus isn't way out ahead of us that much. But that's the thing. The Solarians, they either know what they're doing and they're doing it well, or if they get caught off guard, then things do not go nearly as well for them.
The Turians really should get behind the Alliance. They've got so much in common, like shooting things and not wanting to die. And... no, that's about it.
And those are enough things in common in this situation, I would say.
So, bringing the Krogan to a war summit went well? You want me to invite the Batarians too? Or the Vorcha?
Yeah, bring them both.
Building alliances is the only way we stand a chance against the Reapers.
Yeah, but the Krogan? I'd feel better if we had a tighter plan, like time travel or teaching the Reapers to love. Still, good to have Morden back. The bad guys shouldn't get the monopoly on mad scientists.
I suppose. Alright, what do you say, Edie?
It is good you came by. I have questions about the genophage.
Oh?
You and everyone else.
What do you need, Edie?
A Krogan female of breeding age can produce clutches of up to 1,000 fertilized eggs over the course of a year.
What?
There are over 1 billion females on Tuchanka. If even 1% become fully fertile, they can birth 10 billion infants.
On Earth, bugs have a lot of young too. Most of them die.
The attrition rate would naturally be high, but the state has an interest in keeping the children alive for warfare purposes.
Any other cheerful thoughts?
Logistics. Even were they to side with us, transporting the Krogan to the battlefields of Palaven could prove difficult. They have been demilitarized. That is, they have no warships.
What do you suggest?
They will need Turian or civilian starships to carry them to battle. With your permission, I will make the necessary calls to have these ships in place for when you deliver the Krogan.
Do it. Anything else?
Food. They will be unable to eat anything on Palaven. They must bring their own or rely on the nutrients in their humps.
Oh.
This keeps getting better and better.
The Krogan will also require sedatives, since Krogan fight with others of their kind in enclosed spaces such as starships.
Make it happen. Are there any last things you're worried about?
Nothing that demands your attention, Shepard.
That's a lot. That's a lot of things that need to happen in order to enable the Krogan, and that is interesting insight there. Just makes it feel that much more real. Oh, I did not mean to do that, although I did not realize we could open a map of the ship. But, yeah, where, you know, it's one thing to say, oh, well, let's just get all the Krogan. Like, sure, well, but if you suddenly have billions of Krogan being born, how are you going to transport billions of Krogan across the galaxy? It's far easier said than done, especially when the Krogan don't have any ships, as Edie said, and especially when Krogan and Turians are fundamentally made differently biologically, such that Turian food just makes Krogan sick and doesn't help them at all, and so there's all these things you need to work out to actually make it happen.
Morton sent me a nicely crafted message. It seems he recalls our conversations about the Solarian equivalent of transhumans.
If I could, I'd stop you right.
Transhumans have some of their brain's abilities, such as memory, supplemented or entirely replaced by cybernetics. Legal definitions vary from planet to planet. The Solarians embrace the concept. Humans have diverse and contentious opinions.
Talking about, like,
Do my
cyborgs?
implants make me a transhuman?
That would be telling.
What?
I'm sorry. That was a joke. You are fully human. Cerberus extensively reconstructed you, but your brain functions are organic.
Don't ever do that again.
Hello, Shepard.
Okay, it looks like that's all from Edie then, but lots of good insights from her. So yeah, let's check in a bit on the team, see how everybody's doing after that big mission.
Commander, we've got new reports of Cerberus activity on Tuchanka. I've marked it on the galaxy map.
Okay. More reports of Cerberus up to no good, you say? So this is the mission that we were talking about with Rex. We technically saw it here before we talked to Rex. I was like, oh, let's just talk to Rex first for a second. So Krogan scouting team has gone missing while investigating rumors of activity at the Rachni relay. Investigate the missing team and find out what happened. So Rachni, of course, being a species that we thought got totally wiped out to extinction because they were causing serious problems, attacking the entire galaxy. That's why the Solarians, quote-unquote, uplifted the Krogan in the first place, and the Krogan population boomed so that the Krogan could fight off the Rachni, which we thought they did successfully, ending the Rachni Wars, and the Krogan rebellions began. That's what we were talking about before, where Krogans were colonizing other planets that were already occupied by Turians, Solarians, and Asari, and causing problems, and made a war out of that, and then the Genophage got deployed, so on and so forth. But we thought the Rachni were gone. Then we saw Rachni, Queen, in Mass Effect 1, that we decided to spare if she promised that she would not cause problems. And yet, here we have news of Rachni potentially causing problems. Does that mean it's because of the Rachni Queen? Or did we just not realize there were other Rachni elsewhere that were still out and about? Then we have this that we just heard from Specialist Trainer. Cerberus has taken control of an old military installation on Tuchanka, for unknown reasons. Land on Tuchanka and neutralize whatever Operation Cerberus has in the area. This, I think, will be relatively similar to what we had previously, where we did the Cerberus lab. So, it's just, of course, a different location this time, and maybe a little bit different setup. But same general rules perhaps apply.
Commander, nice to see you again.
How are you settling in, Trainer?
I actually feel somewhat useful. It's been challenging to integrate data feeds for the War Summit.
How are the systems holding?
Well, I'm glad we performed stress tests.
Okay.
Specialist Trainer has been extremely helpful. The accuracy of our war room data is a direct result of her work.
Oh,
Thank
well done.
you, Edie. I'm still getting used to all of this. In the lab, we'd hoard everything, piles of tech everywhere. Out here, it's like living out of a shoebox.
Yeah, you'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
Life on an active ship always feels crowded at first. You'll get used to it.
Oh, it's not a bad thing. I've got no problems getting cozy. This is wonderful. Back in the lab, we had to hoard because we had no budget. Now, Edie, Ariake Tech uses a proprietary smart processing algorithm that could clean up our long-range data. Can we license it?
We can. Analyzing and applying the upgrade now. The algorithm should reduce long-range strategic combat data analysis time by 3%.
Alright.
Impressive.
If it means getting the equipment I need, I can quite happily live out of a shoebox.
Alright, I mean, sounds like she's getting results. Let's check our terminal here, see if we got any emails. We do. Holding the line from Major Kirhi, of course, that is the title for his email. Commander, it was a pleasure seeing you again on Surkesh, even if the circumstances were less than ideal. It seems fate has decided our meetings coincide with galactic threats. I'm afraid that tends to be the case. So be it. To that end, I wanted to reiterate that STG will be there to help when the need arises, regardless of the political climate. You were there for us in our hour of need. We look forward to returning the favor. Best of luck, Major Kirhi, 3rd Infiltration Regiment, STG. And that is why Kirhi is a bro. Info on us? Hi, Shepard. It's been a while. I'm glad to hear you made it off Earth and that Liara's with you. Getting off her old ship was the best thing we could have done. Can't tell you how sick I was of that cabin. And of tripping over that drone. I don't even know how it kept finding me in a ship that big, even after I turned off its tracking. I dug up some interesting information for you. Talk with Glyph to sort out the data. I hope it helps, Shepard. It's getting rough out there. Theron. Liara's old friend from, well, the Shadow Broker base. So, okay. Interesting. Thanks, Farron. Sounds like we'll want to check in with Liara for sure, but we've not yet checked in with really anybody. So, is there anyone else in this floor that we would want to check in with? I don't think so. So, let's pop down to the crew deck. Okay. Still no one here in the life support area, so we can pass on that. Place where Kasumi once resided, but alas, no Kasumi right now either. See, people hanging out. Oh, and Morden, I believe, said he and Eve would be setting up shop here
Aware
in
Krogan
Medbay.
females find scars attractive. Garrus loyal, reasonably intelligent, bit aggressive, almost like Krogan.
For the 3rd time, Doctor, I'm not interested.
Ah, Shepard. We were just...
Are you okay?
I'm fine, Rex. You can relax.
Can't be too careful, or put any faith in Solarian doctors.
This one is different.
Is he? What's that?
Simple blood test.
What kind?
Kind that ends the genophage. Shepard, please. Distraction's counterproductive, also affecting comfort of patient.
Don't worry, Rex. Relax.
He was your inside source, Rex. You can trust him.
Solarians have minds like a maze. You never know when they're leading you into a trap.
Trap. Eve's release my doing. Would never have known about her if not for me.
That was then. But she's out now. And if she gets hurt, I'll feel it.
Understand. But my patient, my responsibility. Her welfare a priority. Will not allow her to be compromised by anyone.
You got a quad, Doctor. Keep her safe. Our females have endured enough.
Don't forget, still need your tissue sample.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Common phobia. Fear of needles.
Or Solarian
Is that
doctors.
true?
Now have work to do. Prefer females of the species.
Alright, I suppose.
Maybe with an inhibitor. No. Entire catalyzing process would fail. Severe neurological damage. Never mind.
What are you talking about?
Method to extract functional cure without killing you. Many variables. Your immune system compromised. Considering options.
And you have to do it out loud?
Yes.
Of course he does.
Auditory learner. Need to hear self think, simulate conversation to promote new ideas, maximize productivity.
But you're talking about me dying.
Oh, apologies. Medical details causing emotional distress. I hadn't considered effect on patient.
No, it just means I can't sleep.
Doing my best to keep you alive. Will avoid sensitive subjects.
Yeah, maybe don't talk about potential situations that could kill her when she's on the other side of the room right there and can very clearly hear you. let's chat a little bit more with Morden, then we'll definitely want to talk with Eve as well.
Shepard, blood work complete. Indicates significant stress on Eve's system. Malin's data thorough. Fortunately detailed as well. Have used notes to improve her condition.
Okay, that sounds good. So, I mean, what's the status on creating a genophage cure in that case?
You've always defended your genophage work. What changed your mind?
Never change mind. Genophage proper decision at time. New circumstances necessitate course correction.
Those circumstances being?
Reaper invasion. Turians doomed without Krogan support. Krogan need unified threat, outlet for aggression, cooperative symbiosis.
I suppose so. Is that really it, though, or can you admit that perhaps the genophage was not the right idea to begin with?
Nothing else? No personal stake here?
Getting old, Shepard. Not many years left, but still best candidate for project. Few Solarian scientists interested in genophage. None with my expertise. Had to be me.
Someone else might have gotten it wrong?
Possibly. Stakes too high for inexperience. But not about them. My work. My job to put it right. To prove I can.
Because someone else might have gotten it wrong. Okay, so that's Morden's thoughts on, I suppose, why to cure the genophage to begin with, because again, he was one of the people, was the person who was most responsible for upgrading the genophage to keep it working on the Krogan, so exactly the opposite of what he's doing right now. So then, yeah, what about, well, let's talk about the data that we got from Malin that helped make this possible.
So, we did the right thing by saving the data?
Indeed. Would be much harder to treat Eve without it. Maybe impossible.
And all those experiments we saw back on Tuchanka?
Monstrous, repulsive, but now with purpose. Victims didn't die for nothing.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it did seem pretty gruesome at the time. And so for that reason, we were questioning as to whether it was worth keeping that data, but you're okay with it?
So the end justifies the means?
Not my means.
But you're using the data, encouraging more experiments like Malin's.
Encouragement irrelevant. Will always be scientists willing to perform unethical tests. Can't change that. But can help Eve. Can cure genophage. Won't ignore data vital to her survival because of unethical origins.
Alright, I suppose so. What about Malin, though?
Any word on Malin himself?
No. Ordered teams to search for him when trying to help Eve. Nothing so far. Large galaxy. Lots of places to hide. Could already be dead for all we know. Would kill him now if possible. Unless he could help.
Yeah, you know, if we were to find him, I would kill him. Thanks, Morden. Thanks, Morden. Alright, let's see. Anything else we can ask you about there? Yes. So, that was, what? Feelings about the data. But how exactly did the Krogan got immunity from those experiments to begin with? So, that's how we got here.
Have you determined why she's immune?
Genophage targeted hormone production during pregnancy. Modification project used same modality. Her immunity, totally different. Targeted glands now obsolete, like human appendix. Other glands mutated to produce proper hormones, enable viable birth. Also explains her weakness. Gland substitution imperfect. Health trouble.
So, you can find a way to help make a genophage cure? Given all that?
You think you can make this work for all Krogan?
Yes. We'll use Eve's tissue to produce mutagen, alter gland function across entire species. Must improve mutagen as well, tune hormone production, long-term illness for all Krogan otherwise.
Okay, yeah, let's try to avoid that. And how is Eve specifically doing?
How is she doing?
No fever currently. Heart rate elevated, likely stress. Eating appropriately. Could use another blanket, something soft. Prefer to let her recover fully before synthesizing cure. My medical recommendation.
My people don't have time for that.
Her opinion, somewhat different.
I mean, how are you guys getting along?
You care about her.
My patient, my responsibility. Found her at STG base. 3 doctors injured trying to restrain her. Undid arm restraints. Didn't resist when she grabbed me. Promised to help her. She said, please.
Oh. Okay, well, I mean, that seems to be all we can talk with Morden about, and maybe we'll see if Eve feels the same way about Morden.
Nice talking with you, Morden.
Thank you, Shepard. Glad to be back.
You planning to stick around when this is over?
Until Reaper's dealt with, at least. Then, not sure. Have made impact on Galaxy. Genophage modification, genophage cure, work against collectors, decisions, mistakes. Might go somewhere sunny, sit on beach, look at ocean, collect seashells.
Oh.
You'd go crazy inside an hour.
Might run tests on the seashells.
Then I'm sure he could find a way to keep his mind at work. But good to have Morden back after, of course, him being one of our first squad mates in Mass Effect 2. Alright, so Eve, we have a lot of questions.
Thank you for saving my life, Commander. I didn't think the Krogan had any allies left in the galaxy.
We owe a lot to you, even if most people have forgotten that.
They can be forgiven. Our actions have hardly inspired friendship.
Part of being friends is knowing each other's name. I feel bad that I don't know yours.
I surrendered it the day I became a shaman of the female clan. I belong to my sisters now. But perhaps one day, when this is over, you can know it.
So, bear in mind, I think this is actually not only, of course, the first fertile female Krogan that we have met, but just the first female Krogan at all that we've met at this stage. So, I mean, that is new. Let's see. Because for the most part, I mean, we've just seen Krogan frontline soldiers, which, for whatever reason, have been exclusively men. I mean, I don't actually know. Some of the species we know have a different balance between male and female. Like, it's not just a 50-50 or roughly 50-50 spread. Like, for Solarians, I think it's something like 60-40 or 70-30, more male than female. I don't know if it's something similar like that for Krogan. Don't think we've heard anything specifically with regard to that. Although, technically, as she said, female clans, I think the male and female Krogan tend to group up into separate clans. And we did hear references back in Mass Effect 2 on Tuchanka of people saying, oh, they were trying to make inroads with the female clans. Like somebody ventured over and like saw a baby Krogan, was like, oh, it's my son? My goodness. Stuff like that. Whereas otherwise, if we're hanging out with Clan Erdnot, it's going to be all male Krogan. So that makes some sense then, I suppose. So let's see. Where would we like to begin with you? I mean, I think perhaps with, well, maybe we start small with just your personal background. Female shaman.
I didn't realize the Krogan had female shamans.
Wisdom comes from pain, and the Genophage has made us very wise. Rather than surrender to despair, a few of us chose to preserve the ancient ways. We safeguard our culture, our knowledge, our secrets, so when our children live again, the Krogan will flourish.
Yeah, how do you become a shaman exactly?
How were you initiated?
You're locked in a cave for 7 days with just enough food to last. On the 8th, you'll starve.
What does that prove?
Your resolve. Every acolyte is given a chance. You either claw your way out through the rock with your bare hands, or you die.
Oh. So, how did you survive in that case?
How did you make it out alive?
I started digging the wrong way.
What?
I was in complete darkness. Nothing other than my own heartbeat to sustain me.
What happened?
I found this. A simple crystal, but it became my chisel. Take it as a reminder, Commander. In the darkest hour, there is always a way out.
That's pretty deep. It's pretty deep, Eve. Okay. Very insightful. And we could use some silver linings right about now. So, other than that, I'm curious what your thoughts are on Rex, but maybe we finish with that. So you were someone that Malin experimented on, and fortunately, you did not, face an ill fate, unlike some of your other Krogan friends back on Tuchanka that we saw, and they did not fare well at all.
How did you get involved in Malin's experiments?
The other females and I volunteered. We heard Malin was trying to cure the Genophage for Clan Weirlock.
Aren't they a rival clan?
Rivalries are the invention of the males. Under their rule, Tuchanka has laid in ruins for over 1,000 years. It's time females took back our place in society and resurrected our future. Malin was our best hope.
Was it worth it? I mean, we saw the sacrifices that so many of the Krogan made.
Would you go to Malin again?
Absolutely. It only takes one candle to light a fire, and then the darkness is no more.
She's full of very quotable phrases. What about the other females, the one that did not come out of it alive? I mean, it's easy to say from your perspective as the success story, but the other ones might not have felt the same way.
I'm sorry none of the other females survived.
I know. The youngest one, Kern, was the last to go. But she knew she would enter the void free of this curse, and then smile when she looked down upon the children of Tuchanka. Her spirit will be the midwife to my firstborn.
Oh. Okay. Well, let's see. In that case, I mean, talking about the genophage, obviously you're going to play a pretty big role in trying to find a way to cure it.
If you don't mind me asking, what's it been like living with the genophage?
I knew sisters who couldn't bear the shame of being infertile. They would wander off into the wastelands, hoping a thresher maw would kill them and end their torment.
Oh.
Did the thought ever cross your mind?
Yes. After my first stillborn.
Ooh. What stopped you?
What kept you from ending your own life?
When my child didn't draw breath, that's when my life truly began. The genophage forces us to live on hope alone. There is nothing else. There is no reason to exist other than the hope that the next day will bring change. And if it doesn't, there is always the next.
I mean, bear in mind that Krogan can live for around 1,000 years. That is tough to do for that kind of long lifespan, and that is, it's difficult. It's difficult. I mean, if we are to find a cure for the genophage, what then?
How do you think things will change after the genophage is cured?
Our species will find its balance again. Females will help shape the future, like in the ancient days, before we were just pawns of power-hungry males.
Most seem hell-bent on shooting anything that looks at them wrong.
That's true.
What else is there for them to do? Because of the genophage, they become wandering killers, seeking targets to justify their existence, excuses to earn them honor.
Okay. I mean, what stopped you from going down that route?
What kept you from ending your own life?
Oh no, that's the same
When
thing we
my
asked
child
before.
did the
I take it
genophage,
back.
there
That
was
was not
no
a
reason to
situation what we were just
exist
asking about.
other than the hope that the
Let's
next
see.
day will
So
bring
then,
change. And if it doesn't, there is always the next.
so Mordred was actually quite, well, I mean, Morden will be Morden, but he seemed to be quite positive, quite friendly toward you, to the extent that Morden is not just totally buried in his work.
How has Morden been treating you?
Better than Krogan males do. He's not like a typical Solarian.
No. Organ redundancy results in new period before metaphase. Can't alter that. Damage to telomeres, premature aging.
He does that.
I sense pain
He does indeed.
too. He told me about his work on the genophage. I should consider him an enemy. Yet I think seeing my sisters and I changed something in him.
Sorry, Vorcha, offspring have an allergy to dairy and...
Aw.
Well, it wasn't his ear.
Okay, well that's Morden. What about Rex? Now, did you know him before? Or is this really the first time you've met him and suddenly, you know, the two of you are going to be the two pieces, the two key components that Morden is going to use to try to formulate this genophage cure?
What do you think of Rex?
When he's not trying to sire half of Tuchanka, he's the best thing that's happened to the Krogan. But I won't tell him that. His head's big enough already. Literally.
He's turned into a strong
You're right.
leader.
I know in his heart Rex wants what's best for us. Though not all the other clans see it that way.
What about those other clans, then?
Why would the other clans give Rex trouble? You'd think they'd want a better future.
It's not in the nature of our males to cooperate. They've evolved to be selfish. Their only concern is survival. Rex is different. He's a mutant. And that you can tell him.
Maybe we will. Maybe we will. You think he will seek revenge at some point? He seemed to suggest that that was not what he was looking to do, but then again, I don't know. If if suddenly Krogan have the genophage, the opportunity might arise for the Krogan to do something like that.
Do you think Rex will want revenge for the genophage?
Some clans will expect it, but I hope Rex resists. He understands the cycle of violence must end if Krogan are ever to have a voice in galactic politics. Still, he's just one Krogan. If enough clans demand it, he may not be able to stop them.
Okay. I think that is the last of our things to chat with Eve about here.
Thanks for talking to me.
It's my pleasure, Commander. I've only met a few humans in my time. I'm glad for the opportunity.
All right. Well, there's Eve. And Morden as well. And so they have now taken residence over the Med Bay area. And so that means Dr. Chakwas has been kicked out somewhere. Where exactly? Maybe we'll find her, maybe we won't.